Bunker Hill Community College recently received almost $2.5 million for expanding a program for students to make the transition from high school. To tell us about the early college programs is the school's Dean of Academic Partnerships and Pathways, Nuri Chandler-Smith. Thank you very much for being with us, Nuri.
Thank you.
First of all, tell us about the schools that you're partnering with, at least in the city of Boston, with this program.
We have two pretty significant partnerships in the city of Boston, one with Charlestown High School and the other with Madison Park High School. Both of those are early college pathway programs that we have been participating in for some time now.
Now, one thing we've had for many, many years are advanced placement courses, so high school students can get some more challenging material. What's the difference between that and early college?
Yeah, there are a couple of key differences. One is that advanced placement is no guarantee of college credit. A student still has to pass an exam, which is a standardized test, and they have to earn a score of at least a 3 or higher. And then the school that they go to, the college they go to, may or may not accept those scores for college credit. Early college is actual college classes that a student is taking, and they have a college transcript that they would take with them as if they were transferring to another college. So it's guaranteed earned college credit. It also provides the real college experience for students, so they're able to be in a classroom with other college students in many cases, and definitely with a college professor learning college level material. So that is really important for students.
What grade does it start at?
Well, for most of our partnership, students can begin in 10th grade, although the majority of students are 11th and 12th graders.
What's that like for let's say a 16-year-old student to sort of transition physically from their high school to a college? You're around people who are older, it's a different atmosphere. What's that like?
It is very interesting for those students. I will say that we do have a couple of different ways that we assist students to transition. One is that we often will offer courses at the high school so that they have an easier transition. So 10th grade classes are often offered at a high school, so their first college class is in a familiar environment, and then in 11th and 12th grade they'll begin taking classes at the college. So it's not as scary. But for most of our students in early college programs, they thrive in the college environment. They really find the challenge, the new population, the new environment to be thrilling. And so we really see that our students do quite well, and they don't seem to be too daunted by it. Although we do provide a lot of wraparound support, so we have staff who will assist students to make sure that the transition is comfortable.
It sounds like you're saying they're more motivated. There's something about being around with those college students and people a few years older maybe that does that.
I think that definitely helps. That sort of intergenerational interaction is really, really significant and powerful for our students, both for the older students and for the high school students. But also I think that sort of change in environment and the freedom that comes with college is something that really does push and motivate a lot of students.
What about either one-to-one contact or at least small numbers of students to an educator of some kind? Does that come into the play here?
Absolutely, but most of Bunker Hill's classes are quite small, so we try to keep an average class size to be around 22 to 28 students so that there can be that really good interaction.
Well, of course, another thing I wonder about is the populations that you serve, because, you know, is this sort of skimming the best off the top, or you feel that you're reaching students who weren't getting into this kind of opportunity before?
Yeah, it's really the latter. The focus of our program is the sort of middle of the road student, the student who didn't necessarily see themselves as a college student, the student who didn't necessarily fit in high school quite. So those are the students that we really target. We also have a strong support for low-income students, students of color, and first-generation students.
This is BNN News. We're talking with Nuri Chandler-Smith from Bunker Hill Community College. How does a student get into one of these programs?
Most of the students enter the program through their school or district. So the district will approach Bunker Hill and say that they're interested in engaging in this kind of a partnership. And then the guidance team and the principal of the school will reach out to students and inform them of the process.
And any idea so far how well these programs are working?
I think they're working really well. We find that the overwhelming majority of our students are successfully passing college classes, which is a huge first step. And many of our students then go on to matriculate to college, which is also a really significant step.
I know this is also different from the sort of norm of getting into college. You take a standardized national test. If you got good numbers, they let you in. Doesn't this train your school to look at things in a different way too?
Well, at Bunker Hill, we don't use standardized tests in terms of SATs and that kind of thing as an admission process. We're an open access institution, so we really try to employ as many strategies as possible to bring students into our campus. But for the high school students who are engaging in early college, this provides an alternative to a standardized test, which can be extremely daunting and problematic for a lot of students.
We should mention, if people want any more information about this, is there some way they can look that up?
Absolutely. They can visit our website, bhcc.edu.
Thank you very much for being with us. Nuri Chandler-Smith from
Thank
Bunker
you.
Hill Community College. Up ahead, how changes in pretrial detention could affect survivors of sexual assaults. But we'll hear reaction from the Boston Area Rape Crisis Center.